Welcome back to Well, friends. It's Laura, and today's episode was, supposed to be about the yoga landscape today, and I brought on my dear friend Danni Pomplun, the owner of HAUM Yoga in San Francisco. But the conversation ended up evolving into more of a glimpse into what it's like to be human in this ever-evolving world of AI that we're trying to navigate the waters of. And Danni's story is one of risk and reward and hustle, but at the core of all of it is a belief in human connection, and that if we simply treat people with kindness, with love, with compassion, things are going to work out. And I think you'll really enjoy his perspective when it comes to technology and the business of yoga in 2026. Take a deep breath, and I hope this one leaves you with a sweet smile on your face. Danni, it is so great to have you. Thanks for joining us on Well today.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I know. It's great. I love that we can finally sit and have a good conversation. Our lives are both a little hectic right now, so this is our chance to actually talk.
Yeah, it is. I guess it is kind of funny. Yeah, we haven't really had the chance because we've both just been going in so many different ways.
I know. Yeah. So I just had to lock you into a podcast to make it happen.
I'm in.
Oh, awesome. Well, I know our listeners are so excited to learn more about you, the human behind the brand, and just get to know some context into how you landed in this place you are right now. What shaped your path to starting HAUM, and how you landed in yoga.
Yeah, I mean, God, every time I tell the story, I kind of forget that it's part of my story until the story comes out again. But, I think the best place to start is, I think a lot of us find the practice, or the practice finds us at the right place at the right time. And my first date with yoga is what I like to say. I was like 18 and I was going on this date with somebody and they wanted to go to a yoga class after surfing, and I didn't want to look like a fool. So I was like, oh, maybe next time. And I went home and begged my roommate to teach me how to do yoga, and I was terrible at it. And the date went terrible. So anyway, there's that.
Yeah.
And then, a few years later, fast forward, I was around 25-ish, and my background is in bars and nightlife. And I just had a really turbulent time in life. I had, drugs and alcohol are a big part of my story. And I had a partner that had passed away, and, I just really had a hard time. And so I tried to remove myself from this lifetime. And thankfully, I had a dear friend, actually my friend Melissa, who I tell you that you look a lot like. Oh, every time I see you, I see this. She's like my guardian angel in life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good human. Shout out to Melissa.
Yay! Thanks, Melissa.
She just held me in this really tender time of my life, and really was like, you got to do something. We can't have you live life like this anymore, or not live life like this anymore. And I kind of was like, I have nothing else left, and there was this yoga studio that had opened up down the street, literally right around the corner. And she's like, just start coming to yoga with me. And the truth is I know now on this side of it, like whether you're reading the scriptures or how deep you're diving into the practice or not doesn't really matter. It's still going to do its thing, whether you're coming into a sculpt class or to a vinyasa class or sitting in a meditation. It's still going to do its magic.
Yeah.
And I think the short story is I started scrubbing toilets because I couldn't afford the yoga. So I was a really good toilet scrubber. Like a really, really, really good toilet scrubber.
Those are hard to find. After running a studio, I know how poorly most people clean toilets.
I had like 9 showers and like 8 toilets, but I took pride. It was one thing that I loved to do was I'd go in, 2 nights out of the week. I think it was 2 or 3 nights out of the week. And after I would take the last class, those 2 nights, and then I would stay for like an hour and a half and just clean everything. And sometimes I would come and take the morning class the very next day. So, I'd be there at like 7:30 in the morning, and
wow.
I would just be like, yeah, I could clean this place up. I'm a part of this, which felt really good. And then I was in charge of the toilet scrubbers, which was kind of fun. So I would like order the supplies and ask people why they weren't showing up to, clean toilets. And yeah, it just kind of escalated. It's like we have these teachers. Teachers have the gift of witnessing our students. It's leaders have the gift of witnessing our teams and our people. And I had this really amazing teacher who just saw something in me that I didn't see, and she knew she had earned my trust. She knew my story, and she was like, "Hey, there's this teacher training thing, and I think you should do it." And I was like, "No, thank you." And she's like, "I think it'd be really good for you, and I'm going to be a part of it, and I think you'd enjoy it." And I was like, "I can't afford it." And so they gave me a scholarship to do the teacher training. And that was kind of the beginning of the end. On this side of it, I wasn't even halfway done, through teacher training, and they were already like, "Okay, we got to get them on. He's got to get on the schedule, and like we're gonna push him into this thing." Because I was so into it, and I would help clean not just my studio but other studios too, which no other cleaner did. But I liked it. I felt like I was a part of something, and I was getting the benefits without knowing what the benefits were. But when you have dedicated time and space to pause and breathe, you definitely have some self-reflection. So.
Oh, that's incredible. What an incredible moment for her to kind of unwrap your gift of, you, and it was obvious as soon as you stepped into the teacher training that is what you were put on this planet to do and to offer. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I never really looked back. I was 25 and just was like, this is cool. It's very different than bartending, and yet so similar in so many ways with the people part and people just wanting to be seen.
Yes. Yeah. That's a really good point.
And space being held.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, it's so funny how many I've worked in restaurants too, and been behind a bar and in cocktail lounges or whatever through college. And I mean, I was 18 and people would tell me stories about their lives that I had no business knowing, but they wanted space held, they wanted to be heard, and I was there. So, okay, so after stepping into the role of the teacher, the seat of the teacher, what catapulted you into starting the business?
Yeah. I had gone to a yoga journal conference those don't exist anymore, but
they were so fun though.
They were, you could literally study with like the greats in one weekend. It was incredible. Yeah. Yes. And maybe we should do that as a side project.
Ooh, okay.
Let's do a wall yoga conference.
Okay.
We know people. Come on, Laura.
We know a lot of people. You would die if you saw the Slack thread yesterday I was having with my team. That is absolutely on this note. So we'll keep this going.
I'm in. Sign me up. And I'd practiced with, like Stephanie Snyder and Jason Crandall and Judith Lassiter and Shiva Ray and Annie Carpenter. And I was like, who are these humans? And they were in San Francisco. And so I was like, well, I want to go do what they're doing on that scale. So when I was 30, I moved to San Francisco and just started teaching and worked my way into Yoga Tree, which was a really big staple, in the world. I think, yoga really, in the United States, I think Yoga Tree was one of the big pioneers.
Right.
Because everything came from San Francisco or New York or LA, God bless Matias Rati and Yoga Works. God bless her. So I taught at Yoga Tree. I was a solo yoga teacher for, I think we would call it like commercially successful is what we are. Those of us that have just worked full time in yoga and worked with brands and things like that. And the pandemic hit, and when you have business models that depend on people being in, butts and seats, and you got no butts and seats, you ain't got no business. So, Yoga Tree sadly fell, and it was tough for, a lot of us. And I sat back. So I never, for the record, there was one time where I was like, I could own a yoga studio. And then I was like, nah, I don't think so. And here I go with three. But I kind of sat back and was like, okay, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? And I wasn't going to go back to teaching at a gym. And I kind of was done teaching. Like, look, I was online was great for me. I know a lot of people had a really hard time. I was happy, and I was taken care of, and my community followed me, and I had an app that I had released. So like I was set, and I've just tried so many times to be online, and it is just not my passion. it isn't. It's not what I do.
Yep.
It's I love people. I believe in the transmission of people, and there is something in, like, those that take my class, I'm a hands-on teacher. Like, I am giving the adjustments and the assists, and I am side by side with you, telling you I'm side by side with you the entire time. Like, let's get this together. There's something magical that happens there. And so I kind of had the choice. I was like, okay, I'm either going to keep going with like online courses and stuff like that, or I'm going to create space. And I sat with a good girlfriend of mine, Yvonne, I don't really give a choice to. I'm just like, hey, you're going to do this thing with me. And she's like, okay. Like, she's like, sure. The first teacher training she'd ever led, I was like, hey, do you want to come teach at my teacher training? Because like, you could teach next weekend. And she's like, yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's very much our story.
Okay.
Yeah. She is my, like, so, I mean, she's one of my ride or dies, and she's like a soul sister of mine. And we were sitting on my couch in the pandemic, and I moved into this loft, and I mapped it out. I moved into this loft. I could fit 12 yoga mats. I was about to do Yoga Fight Club. Like, you don't talk about it. We just do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, Yvonne, I'll take Monday and Wednesdays and Saturday mornings, and you take Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday mornings. She's like, what about your furniture? I'm like, I don't need furniture. I'll do a blow up mattress, and I'll call it home because you're practicing inside of my home.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. And then I called her like a day later, and I was like, I don't think this is big enough.
Yeah. This is going to be bursting at the seams very quickly.
Yeah. So, I like to say that there are 3 types of yoga studio owners. And I mean this in the most loving way. But there is the yoga studio owner that probably has a well-off partner, or they come, from they've got resources that it's not their primary source of income, and they just love owning their yoga studio, and that's what they do. And it's phenomenal, those people. Like, I think it's great that they can just kind of show up and hold that. And then there's the yogi that's so passionate about yoga, and they love yoga, and they want to open up a yoga studio, but they have zero business sense, like none at all. And they end up working 70, 80 hours every week and burn themselves out. It happens, it's 1 to 3 years and they're done, and that studio closes. And then there's kind of the person that's really in love with the yoga and is really, informed of the business. And that's kind of where I land. I've always been, a hustler in that kind of way, like street smart, I gotta get by. And, I just kind of felt into what the options were and what was missing. That was the key part for me. There was, yoga has been a space for a certain type of body and a certain type of person. And it was really well represented like that in San Francisco, where all the top tier teachers had been there for 20 years. They were the same people. No one would ever have the opportunity to go there. And I wanted to level off the playing field. I really wanted to give, my friends who, are queer, or people of color or whatever, just the opportunities they would have never gotten.
Right.
And I found this space that has been a yoga studio for over 20 years in San Francisco. It's iconic, and it's just stunning and beautiful. And I decided to take the risk, and just was like, okay. And this was in May of 2021, and I was like, I don't know when masks are. Something intuitively said, take the risk.
Yeah.
And I did, and it paid off. And then about 9, I like to say I have Irish twins. So 9 months later,
oh my gosh,
9 months later, I'm on a little hike, and full circle moment, I'm walking by the Yoga Tree, which was on Stanton and Haight Street. It's been a yoga studio for 20 years, that one as well.
Yeah.
And it was actually where I first started teaching in the city, like where my first big break at Yoga Tree was there, outside of a gym. And I walked up and was like, I'm going to call this for rent sign. And someone picked up and was like, up there, oh, I'm actually around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And within the 5 minutes, I hear someone say, Danny? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, 4:30 on Fridays. Jen, I was in your class every week. And I'm like, what?
Yes.
She's like, did you call? I go, yeah. She's like, my dad owns this. Just here, let me know what you need, and
oh my gosh. And I love that story.
I now own the yoga studio that I really kicked off my career in San Francisco. So
that is incredible.
That's how I decided to get into business. I just took some risks, and it's paid off. It's been my greatest teacher for sure.
Oh gosh, I can attest to that. I feel
Yeah.
like every time I think I've like graduated the school of entrepreneurship, I get knocked back down to kindergarten and I'm
Yeah.
starting all freaking over again.
Yeah.
Um, wow, well that's incredible, and I love I love how many steps you took to get there and how many steps appeared when you decided to say
Mm,
yes. That's just the
yeah.
best when the universe, God, whatever it is, provides the next stone for you to leap to, and it just takes that
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got the two studios. You said three, so just share. There's hopefully
Yeah.
another one opening
Yeah.
soon.
There's a where I was telling you before we hit
Yeah.
record, I just sent back the paperwork this morning. So I guess I'm going to be a father of three.
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, so I'd love to hear. I mean, I know it's even though 2021 doesn't seem like it's that long ago, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Oh, it
And
was totally
yeah,
was.
and
Everything's
even
changed.
everything has changed in business,
Everything has changed.
in how all of us communicate. So I'd love to hear how, when you approached opening the studio and what your clients looked like, what they were looking for, I guess is a better way to put it. How is
Mm.
it different today than when you started the business?
Yeah. Well, when we first opened, people were just craving connection,
Mm.
and it's really interesting that you asked that. As I'm about to meet with my team in a few hours today, and we're talking about like no phone zones. You know,
Ah,
like the short answer is people missed community and missed being in spaces. Third space is such a
physical
thing right
space.
now. Yeah, like third space came back hot the last
Yeah.
year. And what's changed? So basically, what was missing then is like just the people connection part, and people wanted in people stuff. And now it feels like it's gotten even worse
Mm.
because there's the AIification of everything.
Right.
Like now people just want people to be present with them.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
great way to put it. Before it was just the physical, like we can be in physical space together.
Hmm. Yep.
Now it's, can we be in
Can,
physical space and be present with each other and not be staring at our
yeah,
phones or not have our
that's right.
bots talking to each other?
Right.
It's interesting. I feel like we've gotten to a place, I don't know, in the professional world, at least like in work, and where AI is summarizing our emails and drafting a summary or an email back, or AI is summarizing a meeting that we just had and summarizing the follow-up that we should give. And it's like bots end up talking to bots, and the actual soul of any kind of connection that just happened in a meeting, in a presentation, or whatever it is like vacuumed out.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel like I'm just hungry for that infusion of soul back into my interactions.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I've got this supercomputer,
Mhm.
in the palm of my hands. I can ask it anything and get an answer back, and I have all of this, knowledge at my fingertips, and yet, I look at people and they're just starving for wisdom.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
starving for wisdom and basic human connection. Like this, what we're doing right now, Laura.
yeah.
Just we'll take like 2 seconds here, you know. And people don't have this.
Yeah.
People are. It's almost like they forgot how to do it, and then you have this whole new. Like, don't get me wrong, AI is awesome. We should talk about
We'll
that
get
for
into
sure.
it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I'm so glued to my phone, I don't even know how to, interact with a human.
Mhm.
And it's not everybody,
Right.
but take a look around. Like people are. I mean, there's a lot of this. I make it
Mhm.
an effort, and I talk a lot about it to my friend group right now, but I live in a building with an elevator, and so I have to take an elevator to get up and down to my apartment. And I'm a single guy, and I love going on solo date. By the way, I'm a single guy, just putting that out there.
Hey.
Yeah,
This will be video too, so
yeah,
everybody
great,
can
great.
like see you saying that.
My good side.
He's very cute for
Lombox
those
on
of
the
you just
beach,
listening.
Leo, let's go. And I make it a point to not have my phone out. I
In
make
the
it a
elevator
point
ride.
to no, and I say hi to people.
Good.
And I will say, how's it going? Or if I'm out at dinner alone, which I love to do, I love a solo date. It's fun.
Ooh.
I will never bring my phone up. I will just sit
Oh,
there and enjoy watching people
that
and
takes
interacting
discipline.
with the staff, like just
Yes.
talking to the people that are at work there to serve people and to like that's fun too. Maybe it's the old, bartender in me, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I just think, this is a long-winded answer. I'm just saying, like, I think we're even lacking more connection.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I think that's what's changed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and yoga has this unbelievable way of bringing people together without them realizing it, because you are literally breathing together. It's not just,
Correct.
People in their own kind of unique spots.
Yeah.
You are inhaling and exhaling together in a room. And that is, it's beyond powerful. So there's just this natural trust and connection that you have without even realizing it's happening to you. So when you step out, it's just easier to say hello.
And you're being regulated.
Great point.
You're doing a full circle of nervous system reset, or you're taking the energy. We're on our own little individual pieces of plastic, you know what I mean? But there's a collective experience. So, the breath is moving, not my breath is moving, but the breath moves and the breath moves out. So you're having this whole oneness experience, which is kind of cool to remember that you are part of, the greater thing.
Yes. Oh, my favorite. So when you think about, I'm just thinking about the collection of humans that you have running these facilities and managing the space where all of these people are coming to practice the yoga. How do you hire today? And what does it look like to just kind of find that team that does this, that is intentional about providing a space for connection?
Yeah. The biggest feedback we get at our studios, and it's sometimes it's a little, it's not challenging for me, and maybe that's the word I can think of right now. We can work this out later, but let me say challenging for me to work with is that the biggest piece of feedback that we get is, oh, this feels different in here. Oh, this space feels different, or, oh, wow, this experience feels different. And I think it's because we have a team that genuinely gives a shit about everybody that walks in that door. Like everybody that is on the team wants to be there. I know that hands down. I can't get rid of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you have like a sixth sense about finding those people? Can you tell immediately in an interview?
Oh my gosh. I remember, my general manager, when he walked in the room, I was like, oh, we tell this story. We talk about the story a lot, but I'm like, oh, you're going to be in charge here. This is cool. Like, I knew that. And then, of course he came up and he introduced himself, and we go back from core power days, and he knows my mentors and I know his mentors. And sure enough, 3 years later, we're, he's right hand and we're doing a third. And I think, to answer the question, how do we go about hiring these days? Knock on wood, we really don't have to search outward. A lot of people come to us and they want to come work for us, I hate saying that. I'd like to say work with us. It's tough in yoga. And those of you that are owners listening to this, it, but you can run a really ethical and transparent business. You just have to be willing to do that work. And we do. We post the budgets. We post, people know how much, I make it and not make it. And people know where things are going. And we pay the best in San Francisco. And we offer everyone mental health care. And we pay 100% of, vision, life, and dental for folks. And 70% of medical. And, I have always been taught, and I firmly just believe, because of the way that I grew up, like, you get what you give. And I had this mentor who once said, you put the people first and the profits will happen. And, we don't really do a ton of marketing. We do a lot of word of mouth. It's probably time to start. But like, I somehow believe that if I continue to just treat my people good, whether our marketing is the worst in the world, and there is none, I just think that karma is just going to be like, oh, okay, they're taking care of humans. We're going to make sure that this energy flows so that they can continue to flow that energy into good. and somehow magically just the right people show up. It's really cool. Now there have been some people that I've not trusted my gut, and have been like, okay, that wasn't a work. That didn't work out. But
yep,
not great. I'm grateful to have a really stellar team and also some really good coaches and mentors to help me find those people.
Incredible. It's funny you say that about your general manager. I was just listening to a podcast actually, and the woman was saying, I kind of believe we were all made in batches. Like whoever up there who has the souls puts us all in a cauldron, and we're a batch, and there's a little bit of like heartbreak in this one and a little bit of joy and a whole lot of adventure. So that's that batch. Like sprinkle them out to the world. And then you meet someone and you're just like, oh shit, we're the same. We've got the same ingredients. Like there's nothing else needed here. We're from the same cauldron.
Yeah.
And she said the way she was explaining it was such a beautiful metaphor of, sometimes you just see that person or the first words that come out and you're like, yeah. We got it.
When I saw Juan walk into the door of the studio, I was on the complete other side of the room and I was like, oh, this person's going to work here. I knew it down in my
goosebumps.
Bones.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So cool. Well, I just also want to underscore, because I think you kind of glazed past like 70% of medical, vision, life, mental health. Like that is not the norm in the world, not just yoga and fitness in general. I would say it's very rare to find a studio that provides benefits in that way. And I mean,
and 3.5% matching 401k. Like this is just like, it's Laura, come on. These are people taking care of people is like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm with you. I can tell you right now, we pay 100% of healthcare for our employees at Walla. And that is probably insane. Like anybody out there listening is probably like, are you freaking kidding me? Like how many employees? What? And I just remember my business partner at first being like, oh, but we did it and he agreed. And now we're all thrilled we did it, but it's taking care of your people and it matters. And whenever you see the data in other countries where the happiness factor is just like high, it's because they have those basic needs met. It's not a struggle every day. The stress isn't around, can I pay for my child to go to the doctor? So anyway, I'm with you. Okay, since we both like to geek out a little bit on tech, I'd love to talk about what a little bit. The
emails I send you, I'm like,
I know.
For the listeners out there, I send Laura random emails where I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if this could talk to this and this could talk to this? And have you seen this, or this?
And I half love it, half hate it, because I'm like, I know, I want to do it all, damn it. Do you have money for me to just keep building everything? Because I'm in. No, but the innovation part is always fun. Okay, but what are you using right now? What's blowing your mind?
Well, there's this new thing called AI. Man, I feel like we're going to release this episode and what I'm about to say is obsolete because day by day, sometimes I can't keep up. And I'm pretty I think I'm okay. I'm in there. I was using ChatGPT before it was ChatGPT. And I remember when it was Jarvis that then changed their name to Jasper. And it was just something that you can start to use to write blog posts. And I really was like, oh, this is going to be gnarly. And, ChatGPT came out and I remember talking to my team about it, like, you guys, this is not a joke. Like, this is going to happen quick. And then that escalated. And, Claude came out, I think a year and a half ago, something like that. Or maybe it's been around for longer, but I adopted Claude at first. And, now I'm looking at, OpenClaw and Code and Cowork, and I'm a little bit like paralysis analysis because I just don't know where to go and what tool to use. But to zoom out, Claude is you're gonna die when I tell you this. I took screenshots of my old reporting system, what we used to use at the studios, because it was you can edit this out. The reporting was a mess,
Yeah.
to say the least. So we're glad we're with Walla because it's all pretty
Yay.
and amazing.
Yay.
And to make sense of it, I was like, can you just pull all these reports? And it literally took every piece of data and just out for me. And I was like, well, what if I change this? Like in an instant.
So exciting.
And it's been incredible. And I think some of my team has been, I think the thing that I have to keep coming back to, at least in my business, is I want AI to take over everyone's jobs, except for the teachers. But I want my front desk to not have to do front desk. And I want my managers to not have to manage. And I want everyone to stay on payroll. And I want you, Laura, I say this in every team meeting. And when I push AI, I'm like, you guys hold me to the fire with this, all 55 of you. You let me know when I drop the ball on this word. But I want you, Laura, to come in and me, Danny, at the front desk to be like, cool, you're checked in because of a geotag or, a click of a button, and everything is automated and happening and doing all the wonderful things that thanks to, your product does. Thank God.
Yay.
Again, Walla. So that I can just be like, Laura, how are the two kids? Your son had a soccer game yesterday. How did it go? Great. Your daughter went to college. What was it again? How are you doing? Great. Yeah. Oh, class is starting. I'll catch you afterwards. And then afterwards, be like, hey, Laura, do you want to grab some tea at the tea station really quick? And cool. So your daughter's at what school? What is she studying? Oh, you should meet Nancy. Nancy's daughter just went off to college too. It might be good for you two to connect, or, and I think that my people in the leadership team, I've said this a lot, a side quest here, but Lululemon completely changed my life. I was a Lululemon ambassador. They sent me to the ambassador summit. I was the first person that's ever done goal setting with me. I love the Lululemonification of a lot of things. And my deep desire at the studios is to be the Lululemon of yoga studios. And by that is people that Lululemon's mission was to create leaders. That was one of their biggest things. And they do that by selling yoga pants. But they had an amazing leadership program. They do amazing goal setting. They just had this and massive resources to be able to provide these tools for people. And if I can have everything, done by a robot so that, you, Laura, the manager, can goal set with every single one of your front desk folks and then have the capacity to be like, okay, Jennifer was going to write a book and she said she was going to do that in year 2. So then, one of her micro goals was to start the draft in month 6. I'm going to go check in with her and be like, hey, Jennifer, how's that book coming?
Yeah.
Cool. How can I turn my leadership team into coaches?
Incredible.
And coach the whole human, not just the work human, but look, if you're going to be working at a yoga studio part-time at a front desk, the least I can do is care about your life and what you're visioning, because you're going to be here part-time. This isn't paying all of your bills. Right. And look, everyone, this is yoga. The profit margins are one of the lowest of all industries. You got to work really hard to do this. You have to work really hard to do it. It's not for the faintest, but for the people that are going to be there and put in their time, I want to be able to elevate them. I want to be able to elevate them and push them forward. So robots that we use is Claude. It is. I mean, Claude right now is even a month ago, it wasn't doing what it's doing.
No, the coding is incredible.
It's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind.
It's really interesting because we're having this internal kind of debate from a positioning standpoint and, just pulling back the curtain a little bit for everybody on what it's like to run a tech company, and in a very competitive landscape where everybody's trying to do the coolest, greatest new AI thing. What I'm realizing very quickly after doing some positioning shifts where we've said, we've got this amazing AI that, and we can do this and take time, save you hours every week on whatever it is. Yes. And people don't want more tools. They want to step in and have something either done for them well, which I would say a lot of AI is still not doing things well. It's doing a lot, not necessarily well. And they don't want to be in, like you said, the analysis paralysis or the overwhelm of where do I start. They just want, if there is an expert that can tell them, hey, this tool is going to knock these 3 tasks off your list. You don't even have to look at it. We'll just alert you if there is a problem. Like that's it. But people aren't buying AI because there's so much coming at them. That's AI. They're buying, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but they're buying something that is going to give them an opportunity to find joy in another area of their business that they really love, or to invest back in their team, or to, buy the next 3 reformers that they've been waiting to buy because, it was too expensive to have a salesperson answering text messages all day.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So we're trying to think of things in terms of how do we give the solution without framing it in this like AI is saving your life way. Because there's a lot of, yes, people want it and they're overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, I like I was saying earlier, yes to everything that you just said. Like, I think there's literally every day. Yeah, we've all seen the TikTok videos, but I know this AI site that lists all the AI sites. I've got this site that tells you about the sites that those sites have for those sites. It's like, what?
Can I just have a hug? Like that's, you know what? AI can take my job if my job can be just hugging people all day.
Oh my gosh. Let me show you this. AI is awesome. This is still pen and paper. My daily to-dos.
Yep.
I have to. And my team knows when we do team meetings, when we are talking, laptops are closed. We have paper agendas. Like the laptops are closed. And you better bring out a whiteboard for me.
Oh, I love it.
Because I'm gonna mime it. Now, we can take that and then put it into AI. And
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, just going back to what you were saying. I mean, I think, look, there's so much that we want. Here's my genuine concern, and this is, look, this is my opinion. I speak on behalf of me. People go into business for many different reasons, and I think they're all valid. I think that my ethos in the world is like, I'm in the business of people, and I'm here to make the world a better place, and that's not to say I don't believe that I should make profits, but my whole system isn't on like, I need to get as rich as I can. I'm in the wrong business for that. Like, I fear that there are people that want to replace people, that they don't want to have front desk people and things like that. And I do want something that's going to ease up my follow-ups, and see if I'm losing a member here, or see which classes. Like, I would love to just be like, hey, tell me which classes I need to chop the schedule off, or, based on the data that you can, if we tried this teacher in that time slot, is there some sort of magic equation that you could figure that out, or what time slot could work based on, schedules around me, or something like that. That would be great. And I want something that is going to, there's a part of me now that has to learn a lot of this stuff as a business owner, or I can choose to hire someone and have them learn it and then report back. But I'm a all hands in kind of guy, especially at the start. And there's a part of me that wants to really, if I can take AI and have it make my business better for my people, I'm in. But if it's just going to take, like, I'm in the process right now. It's just super, okay, we're just going to get super nerdy. I decided that I give a lot of feedback at work, and it's a big part of our culture as a team. You don't turn anything in without 2 pieces of feedback, and then we make a collective decision. It's a really good practice because we get to see our plan. Sometimes the feedback is 10 out of 10. But how can I start to create this bot that would give everything the feedback that I would give, so they can just be like, hey, bot, this is round 1 of what I'm working on. What do you got? Great, cool. Let me polish this up. And then we take it to the team, and so on and so forth. That would save me a meeting. That would save them a meeting, and then back and forth. And then when we meet, we could be like, and this, it turns into a yes and,
exactly. Everything's a lot crisper, almost baked, like this close to being baked. Yeah.
Yes. And, whatever it is that I interact with, I need it to be simple. Because I'm out here trying to learn. One of my tabs right now is the Anthropic library. Just I'm learning all these skills. And dude, just newsflash, all of you out there, learn this stuff or you will get left behind. It is no joke, you guys. No, I've never seen it like this, Laura. It's wild.
It's just the fear in me is I am such a hands-on learner and I need to get in and do things in order for it to stick. And so it's not like I can just read a document and I get it, like that's just not how my brain works. And so in order to get in and get my hands dirty and really learn something, it takes some time. And what's happening, what terrifies me is AI moves so quickly, like everything that we're able to do moves so quickly that I have felt recently that, God, I just freaking figured that out. And now, like, I don't actually need to do 4 of those steps anymore because this does it different, like faster and more effective and whatever. And so I'm just trying to figure out how I can learn faster. But it's a very human, humbling moment of holy shit. I used to be like top of the class. I know how to get an A on everything. And right now I'm like, whew, I am barely passing the AI class.
I mean, I've got to ask AI this question. Like,
yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Claude,
man.
tell me I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I know. I've coached mine to like not constantly give me positive, like you're amazing, because I don't need that. I need you to tell me when I'm being an idiot, or like not actually on the right track. Not like that's a great idea. But sometimes I'm like, can you just be nice about this feedback? Because I don't need the harsh side today. Please, just sensitive Laura's here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, well, I empathize with everyone trying to figure it all out right now.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But a lot that is going to benefit us in, with that lens. I like what you said. If this is going to benefit my team, if this is going to benefit my community, I'm all in. So it's just keeping that lens and not just shifting to like, I think the mindset is often, if this is going to make things shorter, more efficient, shorter, easier, I'm in. But that's not actually the part that's going to benefit humanity, right?
Right. Yeah, it's the people that's going to, I can just see it. I think, come, we're in March now. I think, I say by September, we're just going to be wearing the little pin. And we're not even going to have to put in the prompts into Claude or anything. We're just going to be like, hey, can you call Laura and tell her that I'm running 10 minutes late, and then move my thing to tomorrow, and then buy the groceries for me and have them delivered by 5. Yeah. And it's going to be like, sure, Danny, like no problem. I got you. Oh, by the way, you're walking 1 block to the left and you should be 2 blocks to the left. Or
holy shit.
The movie Her is happening for sure. Oh. And then Terminator.
Oh God. Yeah, I know. There's gonna be some interesting art that comes out of this phase of life, like film, books, visual. I'm excited to see how that is the cool thing. Like we still have the human creative brain that can create an artistic and creative, response to the world changing around us completely. Oh, anyway. All right. We could talk about this for like 2 days.
Seriously.
All right. Well, I am so grateful you spent time with us today. I would love to just take a minute to have you share, where people can find you, where they can find HAUM, how you interact if you're on Instagram, if you're on any of the socials. Where do you want people finding you?
Yeah. The easiest place to find me is Instagram. And although Claude now has an integration where it can manage all your messages and talk back as you, it's always me. So I just want to put that out there. If you message me on Instagram and you get, messages back, it's definitely Danny. And then, I teach at the studio. Sometimes I'm not, in the teaching world as much. I do a lot of coaching these days. So I do executive coaching and I do men's coaching specifically in that world. So you can find me at the studios in San Francisco, or you can find me at dannipomplun.com, or you can find me on Instagram. And I'm either hosting a retreat or leading a lot of breathwork and meditation these days.
Oh,
Or coaching people. Yeah, helping people just unlock and either to achieve the dream or get out of the thing or get into the thing or it's all the stuff I've learned along the way.
That might be our next podcast is men. I mean, I am raising a son right now, and it's a pretty gnarly world that he's stepping into. And I am excited to take a peek at what you're doing, and thank you for that work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me as like
little fun fact, it's just yoga. I just call it men's work.
Put whatever costume on it you want.
Exactly.
It's still the yoga.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And guys, we'll see you next time on Well, Well, Well.